Welcome to today's lesson on the control of blood glucose concentration, where we will explore the essential mechanisms that keep blood glucose levels stable and the role of the hormone insulin in this process. In our roadmap for today, we will understand why it is crucial to maintain regular glucose levels in the bloodstream. We will then discuss how sufficient glucose is required for cellular respiration and why too much glucose can pose dangers to the body. Finally, we'll delve into the role of insulin, produced by the pancreas, in converting glucose into glycogen for storage in the liver when blood glucose levels are too high. So far, you have learned about homeostasis, which refers to the body's ability to maintain a stable internal environment, and how various hormones, like adrenaline, play a part in this. This foundational knowledge will help us appreciate how the body regulates blood glucose levels as part of this broader system of maintaining stability through hormones. Understanding how insulin regulates blood glucose concentration highlights the complex interplay between different physiological processes. This insight is crucial for comprehending how the body manages energy resources and protects itself against the harmful effects of glucose imbalance. So let's get started. First, let's recall why glucose is important for our bodies. Glucose is a type of sugar that provides energy for cells through a process known as cellular respiration. Without enough glucose, our cells wouldn't have the energy required to function properly. However, having too much glucose in the bloodstream can be harmful and lead to conditions such as hyperglycemia. Therefore, maintaining a steady level of glucose in the blood is crucial for our health. This balance of glucose levels is a prime example of homeostasis, a process that keeps our internal environment stable. Blood glucose concentration can vary significantly based on various factors. One such factor is your diet. When you eat foods, especially those rich in carbohydrates, they are broken down into glucose, which enters the bloodstream from the gut, increasing blood glucose levels. Metabolic activities also affect blood glucose concentration, as regular bodily functions use up glucose gradually. A third factor is exercise. During intense exercise, muscles use up a lot of glucose very quickly, lowering the blood glucose levels. The pancreas is an essential organ in regulating blood glucose levels. It performs this function by monitoring blood glucose concentration and producing hormones that help to adjust the levels when necessary. One of these crucial hormones is insulin. Here is how your pancreas and the insulin that it produces help regulate your blood glucose levels. When you eat and your blood glucose levels rise, cells in the pancreas sense this increase. In response, the pancreas releases insulin into the bloodstream. Insulin helps glucose move from the blood into cells where it can be used for energy production through cellular respiration. Insulin also converts some of the glucose into glycogen, an insoluble form, which is stored in the liver and muscles. This reduces the amount of glucose in the blood. Glycogen acts as a storage form of glucose. When blood glucose levels are high, insulin facilitates the storage of glucose as glycogen in the liver and muscle tissues. This not only helps in reducing the immediate levels of glucose in the blood, but also provides a ready source of energy that can be converted back to glucose when needed, such as in between meals or during physical activity. Before we move on, let's take a moment to explore the history of blood glucose control studies.
In 1921, driven by a desire to control diabetes, I, Frederick Banting, along with my assistant Charles Best, embarked on a bold experiment. Under the mentorship of John McLeod and with the assistance of James Collip, we successfully isolated insulin from the pancreas of dogs. Our experiments proved that by injecting insulin into diabetic dogs, we could regulate their blood sugar levels. The first successful treatment of a human patient was in 1922. Despite being young, the work earned us the Nobel Prize. Our discovery of insulin has since saved millions of lives.
In today's lesson, we focused on the regulation of blood glucose levels, an essential aspect of maintaining homeostasis in the body. We began by discussing why it is crucial to keep glucose levels within a narrow range. Glucose is necessary for cellular respiration, which provides energy for cells to function, but too much glucose can be harmful and lead to health issues. We then explored the role of the pancreas in regulating blood glucose levels. When blood glucose levels rise, such as after eating a meal, the pancreas detects the increase and responds by releasing the hormone insulin. Insulin facilitates the uptake of glucose into cells and also stimulates the conversion of glucose into glycogen, a storage form of glucose in the liver. This reduces the glucose concentration in the bloodstream, bringing levels back to a normal range. By understanding these mechanisms, students can appreciate the delicate balance the body maintains to ensure optimal functioning. This knowledge also provides a foundation for understanding conditions like diabetes, where blood glucose regulation is impaired.